When I had to operate again, I got an infection. And this infection became a general infection where many organs stopped working. And it's when it came to my lungs, and the lungs closed as a protection. And it was at the time of visit where my wife and my mother was there. I couldn't breathe. I started feeling a lot of pain. The nurses asking, what's happening, what are you feeling? And I couldn't explain. And there I fell. I fainted there on the floor. And I can confirm that in that moment I died. How do you know you died? How can you say you died? Maybe you were dreaming, having hallucinations. No, Bishop, I saw my body. I cannot say that I saw my soul. No, my soul saw my body, because I saw my body there on the floor, and a doctor coming, a nurse coming, putting this, putting that, putting the other, and I could see the nurse there trying to get my vein to inject me, and I was seeing her, and I would look at me, but I couldn't see my arms, I couldn't see my legs, there was no body. And amongst all the despair, I could see everything, I could hear everything. It's not something that you say, it was more or less like this. Then maybe you could say it was a hallucination or a dream. But no, it was clear, crystal clear, like I'm here with you. The only thing that was strange to me is that I couldn't see my body. And with all of this happening, I looked around me and I saw dots, points of light, which today I know that it was the angels of God there keeping me, protecting me. They were there, various lights around me. And on the outside I could see demons. How could I know that it was demons? The closest thing that I compare to, it's to that smoke that comes out of a truck, a diesel truck, but much darker and much faster. So I could see those spirits, those shadows moving up and down, and when they were trying to come at me, that light that was around me was blocking them. They had no access to my soul. And then I understood these are the angels of God here protecting me, impeding the demons from taking my soul, from having access to my soul. In that scenario, I was so surprised to see all of that, and I felt like I was grabbed from behind, and in a couple of seconds I was on the top of the hospital. I was there on the top, and I could see the whole, the city there, and I could see there on top of the hospital where I was hospitalized, and there was a place there for a helicopter to stop with the letter H and the number 4. There are many buildings there in those streets, and some may have places for a helicopter and others not, but that one I knew that there was a place to stop there, and the letter H, the number 4. And when I saw that, I asked God, what's happening? And this presence that was pushing me, taking me, in a couple of seconds I was back in the UTI, and my body was no longer in the same place, because I was in a place of isolation first, and when I returned, my body was no longer there. And I thought to myself, but how could they have removed my body in a couple of minutes? But when I came back to myself, I asked my wife, that's after I came back to myself, I asked my wife, how long, for how many minutes have I been here? And she said, no, you've been here for 5 days. You were at the isolation for 2 days, and because it was very critical situation, they managed to keep the body working. They couldn't keep you alive, but the body was still working. And they were putting their adrenaline. I have here even a scar where they were injecting straight to the heart for the heart not to stop beating. And they were watching me there 24/7. So she said, you stay 2 days at the isolation and another 3 days here. But for me, it was as if it was only a few minutes. In a few minutes I was up there, in a few minutes I was back, and my body was in a different place. And then again, that scenario again, where the angels were there together with me, and those shadows going up and down. And I could clearly, Bishop, from those shadows, I could clearly hear screaming. And not screaming like when we hear a demon manifesting. No, screaming of desperate people, of thousands of souls. And like we've showed people before, like the screaming of hell, but that one is a recording with microphone. But there I could hear it clearly. I could not see where those screaming was coming from, but I could hear it clearly. And that's when I thought, my God, if I am sure of my salvation and I'm not going to hell, why can I hear this? Why did I go up there and come back down? Why can I see all of these things? If I had the opportunity now to go back to the people and tell them what I have seen, to tell them that I was at the top of the hospital and I saw the number, the letter H and the number 4, to tell people that the screaming from hell is real. My wife was already fighting for me, sacrificing on the altar, and I had a desire inside of me, the same desire that I believe Lazarus had when he heard the rich asking to dip his finger in water and quench his thirst. I'm sure that Lazarus really wanted to help, but Abraham said, no, now you cannot help anymore. Those who are here want to go there. It's not possible. And I'm sure that Lazarus was disturbed by this, and that's how I was feeling. I was asking God, God, let me go there and rescue those souls. Let me throw myself on top of these demons and take away these souls. And that's when I returned to myself. My wife was holding my hand. I was now back to my body. I could start feeling the pains of the surgeries. And she was telling me to calm down. My heart was beating really fast. And I was asking for a phone, a tablet, something to check the images of the hospital to confirm that I was really up there. Physically, I never went up there, but I was there. My soul was there. And I was asking them to check the images. When I went back home, that's the first thing I did. I looked up this image. And there I understood something, Bishop. Why did God allow me to return? Why is God allowing me to be here now? To be able to tell people the following, what the rich tried to ask Abraham. Send one of the dead to tell those that are alive that this is really true. And I stopped to think how many people are worried about keeping up their appearances, faking a smile in their face. People worried about material conquest, keeping a status, trying to be something in life, trying to be recognized by people, applauded by people, and not understanding that that rich man was begging for a drop of water. So what I ask people is the following: is it possible that even coming back from the dead, I am saying that I died, I am saying that I'm back, and I am saying what I saw, I have proofs, the scientific proof that this can happen? Is it possible that even like this, someone coming from the dead, that you will not believe, you will not repent, you will not check yourself, check your spiritual life? Because when the person goes through this, they understand that there's no point to run after all sort of things in life, win the whole world and lose their soul. It's pointless. So I was saying to God, my God, I need to bring this appeal to people, for people to stop and think. Because you can be smiling. You are conquering, you are smiling. You are in love, you are smiling. But your soul knows that if it goes out of your body now, it knows where it's going. You can be whoever you are, have the title that you have, in the condition that you are, but your soul knows. And if you ask your soul right now, your soul will tell you which destiny it has.